Under the Seeds of Bravery. So huge congrats to everyone on that, because this is the first two batches of the Deep Tech Accelerator under the huge big consortium for Seeds of Bravery.
Recording in progress.
And during today's event, we have several parts. The first one is the welcoming word, and pretty soon I will welcome my colleagues from Seeds of Bravery Consortium to tell more about what actually Seeds of Bravery is doing, what kind of value and opportunities it brings to Ukrainian startups. Also, we'll have two great guests for the fireside chat, and we'll have 18 fascinating, amazing pitches of Ukrainian deep techs that already are the alumni of both programs. So to keep it dynamic and short, let me welcome all the startups. You see all the big logos. And when I say big, I really mean that one day, sooner or later, somebody sooner, somebody later, this will be like really big logos that you will know in your daily life and in your daily business. So the plan for today is super simple. We'll have a lot of guests today, and we'll have 18 pitches. And we'll have the first person to speak today, that's Carolina from Plug and Play, to tell us more about what the Seeds of Bravery Consortium is really doing and how we bring the value and what kind of value Plug and Play brings in. So Carolina, welcome.
Thank you, Katerina, and good afternoon, everyone. Really happy to be here to see the showcase of our Deep Tech Accelerator startups. So welcome to the startups, welcome to the audience, wherever you are joining from online. As I already said, my name is Carolina. I'm part of the Plug and Play team, and our mission at Plug and Play is to make innovation open to anyone, anywhere. So that is a big part as to why we are participating in the Seeds of Bravery Consortium. And as you all know, Seeds of Bravery is a project that has been undergoing now for approximately 2 years. As a whole, the project is allocating 20 million euros in funding to Ukrainian startups, Ukrainian technologies, anywhere from startups that are just starting out from a spin-off idea that they might have had at a university, all the way to deep tech acceleration, so startups that are already a little bit more advanced. Why we are here today is it's an incredible part of our Seeds of Bravery mission, which is to create the access for Ukrainian startups to European and global ecosystems, namely innovation ecosystems. Those ecosystems are made up of course, numerous stakeholders. Many of you are probably watching here today. And I just want to start this demo day with two specific calls to action. So our startups that are participating here today, you already know Seeds of Bravery. You understand the plethora of opportunities that are available for you to connect with the innovation ecosystems. Demo day is one way to do it, but of course, we also support you in your matchmaking journeys by also creating additional connections with customers, stakeholders, investors, even advisors that can support you in the acceleration of your company. So if you are looking for key partners, key connections to be made in these European ecosystems, don't forget that we have a series of demo days upcoming for the remaining of the Seeds of Bravery project. And those are always opportunities where you can continue to showcase your solution, showcase your company and the growth of your company to our very engaged audience that we have here. And then my second call of action, even more important to the audience that is listening to us online, you are the incredible individuals that have the power to support our Ukrainian startups. You can support their growth far beyond Ukraine. They are doing incredible work in Ukraine with their existing activities, but also comes the time for market expansion and growth towards other innovation ecosystems. So your participation here today is one way where you can continue to ensure the collaboration between Ukraine and the rest of the world, focus on the support of key technologies that Seeds of Bravery is developing through the support of our programs, everything under the umbrella of deep tech. And together we don't talk about the bridges between Ukraine and the rest of the world, we build the bridges between Ukraine and the rest of the world. So if you are interested to get involved, to connect with any of the startups that are pitching here today, or to even participate in our matchmaking activities after this demo day, don't hesitate to message me during this Zoom session, message me on LinkedIn. I will also maybe leave my email in the chat for those that are here on Zoom. And we will take it from there to connect you to the most relevant stakeholders and startups participating in our program. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy this great demo day.
Thank you so much, Carolina, for joining us today. I guess that's the best idea. You can just join share your email on the group, so all the startups can see it. That's the best way how we facilitate it. And now.
Familiar brands, I mean startups, and some of you new for me, so I'm glad to meet you. And as Katerina said, I work for Lux Innovation, but originally, based on my name, you can figure out that I'm Ukrainian. And what we do as a Lux Innovation team, we have a specifically dedicated team who works for Seeds of Bravery project. First of all, about what our organization does. So it's innovation agency, and we support researchers, startups, scale-ups, SMEs, and corporates to innovate. And we have different type of services. As Luxembourg is a small country, so many services in terms of innovation are concentrated in one national agency, and what is amazing for our clients, because they can easily, have a growth journey in our organization. And one of the things what we did within Seeds of Bravery, we created mapping. It's more progressed and better mapping than you can find in Deal Room or other places. Could you please share next slide? We will, after this presentation, I will send in the chat a link how to use this mapping. So you can find any type of partner with whom you would like to be connected. Either it's accelerator program, or business angel association, or VC association, or you need to cooperate in product development. So up to 2,000 stakeholders identified and verified. So what we did, with our partners, within Seeds of Bravery, we have 19 partners. We identified and qualified really partners who are really doing their job to support startups in different countries within Europe. And also, you can also use what kind of support do you need, and you can choose, what kind of partner you would like to connect. Also, as Seeds of Bravery project, we support female leaders, and we created specifically curated material which programs or stakeholders are supporting female, and it's also this mapping are accessible. But also within Seeds of Bravery, Lux Innovation team is managing work package pan-European integration. Carolina already presented matchmaking activities, but also we have tech ticket program. So what does it mean? That you can go with a Seeds of Bravery team to go to different events. So the tickets are covered most of the cases. Sometimes also you can get a booth. And there are conferences like Web Summit, Viva Tech, and etc. And so we're encourage you to participate, to apply for these calls. Simply, the easiest way is to follow our social media, including LinkedIn, and just follow it and apply for the call which is interesting for you. Also, what we have co-working activities. So we signed different memorandum of understanding with co-workings in Ukraine and in Europe, and also they allow you to have free several months to use this co-working or a huge discount. Again, in LinkedIn, we also will create call for action, and also you can apply for those co-workings which are in your interest. Also, we have investors and accelerators community platform where you can register your startup. So you will be visible for more than 50 or 70 investors, like really active investors. And also you have lots of interesting curated material there, how to perfect pitch and how to approach investors and etc. And also within not only Lux Innovation contributing not only to our work package, but to other. So for you, it sounds like work packages, but for us, it's work packages. For you, it's a services. So as a deep tech companies who are participating today, probably you will be interested for amazing opportunity, also grants in Europe. It's called EIC Accelerator. So you can get up to 2.5 million grant plus equity from European Investment Bank. Again, the Seeds of Bravery team supports you with this journey. Yes, it's very competitive call, but of course, more than 2 million grant is amazing opportunity. So we can support you with this too. Also, we have additional, not we, but I mean, this call exists in Europe, and we support you to apply for this call is Women in Tech, where you can get 75K for the development as an entrepreneur. And also regarding acceleration program, also you can get in the platform that I mentioned before, but also Lux Innovation has acceleration program, and the call will be opened in summer, but you can already pre-register. It's for pre-seed startups. And everything what I mentioned, I now will send you like 7 links or something like that in this chat. So after you can double check. And what I would like to say is that most of you already know it, but for those who don't, so Seeds of Bravery is a very complex project. We have many services. So I encourage you to connect with other granted companies, and to exchange what works best for you and what kind of services were useful for you, so you can also apply for the services and find your IFP manager, and also try to read guides for applicants, because we have there also different list of different services. Please use your time, but also benefit from these services, because the list is huge. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ina, for joining us and for explaining us like how this huge machine of Seeds of Bravery works. Just to reinforce that once again, I also would highly suggest everyone to visit the webpage of Seeds of Bravery, because at this point of time, lots of opportunities are described and available there as well. Plus, they can be available even if you're a non-grantee. If you're just non-participant today, if you're just watching the YouTube today or later the recording, just access the key resources of Seeds of Bravery and see what you can get. Even if you're not a non-grantee, still you can benefit a lot from non-financial support services and build good connection as Ukrainian startup to EU tech ecosystem. So to step into our next part, where we have two more speakers and amazing facilitator and moderator, we will run a pretty dynamic fireside chat. So let me welcome Yulia Tkach from Vector, who is the chief editor of Vector, Irakli, the managing partner of Future Laboratory Ventures, and Pedra, the managing partner of LC Ventures. So the fireside chat is something that has been happening in Ukrainian tech ecosystem since I remember myself, which is like 10, 15 years already. And that's an amazing format when you can learn a lot of insights and you can learn from people who really work in this industry of either being on the startup side or being on the investor side, still having a good chance to deep dive into the insights and real practice that's always very beneficial. If you're on Zoom today, if you're a startup or expert, because we have experts on the call as well, please feel free to add your own questions to the chat, and we will give it to the moderator so that we can keep it more interactive and dynamic. So let's welcome Yulia, Irakli, and Pedro.
Thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm happy to open the last but not least fireside chat. I'm Yulia, Chief Editor Media Vector. Welcome applause to our speakers, Pedro, Irakli. Happy to have you here today. And let's start our chat now. First of all, want to start from questions about early stage investments. What's the biggest shift you have ever seen in early stage YC investments over the past few years? Are investors becoming more cautious or risking? Pedro, it's your turn.
Hi, nice to having us here. Thank you for the invitation, Karina. We've been investing since 2000, so over 25 years now, always in early stage, namely in pre-seed and seed stages, and mainly in tech startups. We have seen the ecosystems across Europe growing considerably over these past 25 years. The number of players has increased several times. For instance, in Portugal, where I'm based, 20 years ago, we had like 10 VC firms. Now we have more than 160. The same has been happening across, for instance, Eastern Europe, in countries also like Romania, where we've seen the country grow a lot. But what we can still see now is that there is a concentration, mainly in a certain axis, which is between the UK, Germany, France, and of course the Nordic countries. So there's lots to be done in the Southern Europe and Eastern Europe. But that said, we have seen many players now investing in those regions of Europe because they know that valuations are lower, talent is great, especially for tech startups, and so there are lots of interesting opportunities to have in these regions. We have seen that happening. Regarding incentives, namely from the EU, there's still a concentration of incentives to the main areas, meaning if you go and look at the main destination of the capital from the EU, it goes, of course, to Germany, to France, to the Nordics, and that shows in what is the number of players and the size of the players elsewhere in Europe. This is, of course, an European-wide decision. They want to have the largest players possible to be able to compete directly with the US, but it's harming a little bit the ecosystems in the smaller countries. In any case, the market is growing, and there are lots of opportunities, and especially when there are crises, that's the best moment for an investor to invest. And so we have not been short of crises recently, and so lots of opportunities have appeared.
Thank you. Irakli, what about you? How in future laboratory ventures, how do you check if there is a right valuation for an early stage startup, especially when there is little revenue or traction? What factors help you determine wherever a startup is overvaluated or have a hidden treasure?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting, and wish you all the best with your initiative. I always glad to support Ukrainian startup ecosystem and Ukrainian startups. And I see that Ukrainian startup ecosystem has a great achievements. Even then we are speaking about potential of the region. We could speak about even the example of Kyiv. Yeah, we all remember this story. And yeah, it was difficult to raise investment from the global and top VCs. You know that more than half of VC money is concentrated in Silicon Valley, and I'm currently here also to help promoting our region and to get more financing from the Silicon Valley. Currently, I'm a first VC fund in Georgia. We've got the license from a national bank, and unfortunately, we are the only VC fund in Georgia. We are investing in a very early stage, mostly in software developers with US focused product, but at the same time, we are providing them acceleration program for 3 months with UC Berkeley, Stanford Statics, and Silicon Valley mentors. And why we are doing this? Because it's not so easy to understand the real potential of a startup at the stage that which is mostly interesting for VCs, because venture capital should be mostly venture. They should invest before that they're transforming into the usual company, that they have revenue, the traction, they have predictability, product market fit. Yeah, it's simple. But what about these examples then? For Airbnb started its journey, or even Apple. Yeah, it was pre-revenue companies, but real VC funds believed into them, provided finance, and we got the great outcomes. Now that's why, yeah, we are speaking about the teams. We are speaking as most important component, but we are speaking about the creation of ecosystem and structure for early stage startups to give them ability to make research, to find the niche that the product will work, and finally you could achieve the great results by investing in early stage startups. Yeah, it's difficult to say which component is the main, because it's a complex element. That's why we mostly doing this acceleration program, not only for development of a startup, but also to understood more the potential of each team. And we are looking to dynamics, we are looking to the passion, we are looking how unstoppable they are, and many other elements. And then the VC funds saying that, oh, we are investing in team. It's very complex element. It's what does it mean we are investing in team, and what components should team has to achieve great success. Yeah, by the way, we are working together with UC Berkeley to create some kind of investment readiness playbook to create more better understanding between VC funds from Silicon Valley and our region. And in the future, I will be more than happy to share it also to the Ukrainian startups.
Thank you so much. Pedro, what about LC Ventures? What factors help your team?
I'm sorry, can you repeat? What factors it break?
What factors helps to determine your team whether a startup is overvaluated or have a hidden treasure?
Okay, so there's actually an interesting case. It was in 2009. We decided to invest in a startup that was pre-revenue, so zero revenue. They had 3 people that came from the university, so not the ideal background of being people that were focused on in business, right, or in making money, but they had a fantastic technology. The company was called Fidzai, and it's now a unicorn. It's the leading company in fraud prevention for financial transactions. And it started actually in the interior of Portugal, next to a university in Coimbra, one of the oldest in Europe. And so what happened is at the time we identified the potential applications of their solution, which were vast at the time, and they were asking, if I recall correctly, for 1 million, and we decided that they should not raise 1 million, but they should immediately raise 3 million. And so we got together with other investors from the ecosystem, all from the Portuguese ecosystem, and we were able to raise that amount. And then the company, of course, grew, and now after some time, it's a unicorn. It is going quite well. So the main key factors there were that first, the team was very focused. They knew what they wanted to do. Second, they had the talent, the competencies to build that solution that they wanted to build, and they could show very quickly what they could do. So they only have the MVP, but it was absolutely fantastic at the time. And see, this is clearly a moment where we can see that sometimes if you don't put enough money in the company in the beginning, it may not grow as fast as it could. So in this case, the decision to help them raise a much larger round was fundamental to help them grow quickly. Of course, when we did that, we artificially raised the valuation. Was the company valued at what it was valued at the time, which I cannot disclose? No, it was not. But in the end, it proved that when we as investors wanted to exit, right, we knew that for 7-8 years the company could not support even a secondary, right? But we knew that the return would be good enough to justify that initial investment. In other cases, what we have been looking at when looking at the teams is if the people already have some experience, if they are driven in providing value to customers, and also if they are very focused on, as soon as possible, putting the product in the market and getting money from the customers and not from the investors. So that's typically a good case, because something is a startup has only value if the people that are there create that value, and so that's typically the thing that we look, right, more than anything, especially when it is pre-revenue.
Okay, thank you. And in addition to this, to continue our conversation, How can YC and startup innovation contribute to long-term economic growth in emerging markets? Do they increase a country potential?
Well, if I may step in that specific case, of course, it increases, and we have seen that happening here. Don't forget that a startup, when it starts growing, it starts hiring, they need talent, so they are hiring people that are relevant. They are keeping that people inside the country. They're also attracting foreigners to come into the country and to stay there, and they start living there, getting their families there, raising their families there. So it grows up. Also, they start hiring other companies to provide, they are subcontracting to provide services to them. So it creates a positive effect around them, right? And also, as you have more and more startups in a certain area, typically, for instance, we see that around universities, right? So, people get out of the university, they have studied together, then create startups, then they stay in those areas, especially if they are incubators and other types of entities there. And then they are starting to create an ecosystem. People circulate, talent circulates over that ecosystem, and it starts to grow. And we've seen that here happening across the major universities in the country. And we also see that in other countries. If you go, for instance, also again, for instance, Romania is also a nice example. You see Cluj-Napoca, which is, of course, one of the IT capitals, right? More important than the capital city of Romania. So you can see the difference that it can have in the ecosystem and the economic growth of a region specifically.
Thank you. And Irakli, we would happy to hear your point of view. How can YC and startup innovation contribute to long-term economic growth in emerging markets?
Yeah, of course, first of all, we are promoting that startup, it's always offering to the market innovation. And innovation is the improvement of some processes, products, providing more economy, more better usage of time, money, and etc. And that's why the startups are always producing the economic growth in the case of optimization of processes, digitalization of like systems, and making any type of work much more efficiently. And that's why then you are becoming more efficient. You could achieve more economic value. You could do more, and especially for developing countries that we are promoting, and Ukraine is also great in this direction. We are using this venture outsourcing model because software outsourcing is very popular. A lot of international tech companies are using the great talents from our region, but why not to have the same structure in a startup field? Yeah, to have teams here, great startups, but sell in US or in all globe, and we'll get the great economic value because runway cost is less. It's a great cost arbitrage, and the country is getting amazing revenue. But there is one problem that most of our startups, unfortunately, I saw the statistic, even from Ukraine, they are leaving the country. But to compare to the Poland, most of startups are staying in the country and continuing operation from this territory. The 50%, 50-50 is in Estonia. That's Estonia. It's also great in achieving in the startup industry. But yeah, we should create more opportunities for startups to stay in a country, but operate globally and create a great success for our economies.
So sometimes, like the internet in Ukraine, it can be quite a surprise. So let me take it up from here, and best hopes that we'll see Yulia moderating this fireside chat pretty soon. So coming back to where we are today in the demo day of the Deep Tech Accelerator. So imagine you're a startup and you're a deep tech startup. So how do you raise investment after you graduate from a deep tech acceleration program, considering your TRL7, meaning you have the prototype functioning and like the customer trials? So how does the next round of investment come? Like, what do I do next after the demo day today as a startup? So since Irakli is unmuted, so I guess Irakli, you go first, and Pedro, you just can add more of your knowledge. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. In the case of deep tech startups, of course, it's more complicated process because it's needs a lot of money for research and prove your concept and prove this technology that you are product that we are going to promote on the market. But I pretty like that example that provided by Pedro, that if you have a really disruptive technology, if you have a real innovation that might improve significantly some processes, make the great optimization or improvement in particular sector, there are VC funds that might invest into your project, but it's very complicated process. And it's not that you should contact only one or two or three VC funds that, and all of them will say, no, you should stop your fundraising process. It's a very complicated process. The same is in a VC world. Sometimes you are contacting to 20 potential investors to get only one investment for this VC fund. And the same it's in a startup world. Yeah, you should contact many VC funds, sometimes work cold introduction, but unfortunately, mostly it's based on warm introduction. I don't like this principle because sometimes you could miss the very interesting startup because that someone didn't introduce it to you. But there is a big problem in such kind of warm introduction because the mental model works in this case, and mental model means that any particular individuals translating what they see based on their own understanding of the world. It means that the mental model that we have is like filter for different kind of projects or innovation, and sometimes it might miss very interesting elements. And that's why warm introduction might not be always good. Then other people are introducing you some potential disruptors for the future.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I have a little trouble, some issues with my laptop, but I'm back. And I want to continue our conversation with the next question. What lessons can global startup ecosystem learn from Eastern Europe in fostering deep tech and innovation?
So starting on that, and thank you for coming back. I hope there was no other problem than the normal disruption of the communications. I think that one thing that Eastern Europe does well, and which is fundamental for the allowing deep tech startups to simply appear, is focusing on developing talent. So having great universities, having fantastic people graduating from the computer science, mathematics, engineering, etc. Having very good talent coming outside. That's the first step, right? Because if you don't have the building blocks, they do not appear by themselves. So that's the first thing. And so that's something great that in some global accelerator systems, we lack, because especially when we're talking about tech startup that Irakli was telling us about a few moments ago, it really depends on the quality of the talent, and so that's one thing. The other thing is the focus on creating the correct incentives, and that's something that the governments, not only the the governments of a country, but also local governments must do in order to provide the environment for startups to grow and to develop, right? So it's not only about creating the incubators, but also in providing, and that's something that, because I'm also a vice president at Investor Portugal, the Association of Investors here in Portugal, and we have studied what have been done in startup ecosystems across the world, which ones have worked and which ones have not worked, which types of incentives. And the best incentive that can be done is the tax incentive. So bringing the very early investors, namely the business angels, the initial small pre-seed funds, to invest in this type of startups, because this is something where you must foster the appearance of the startups themselves, and then foster also the attractiveness of those startups to investors. And so providing incentives, namely tax incentives, that's the way to go. And across Eastern Europe, what we have seen is also that at least the context in terms of taxation, right, is an adequate one, right? In some cases, in one country or other, it could be lower. But if you compare that to, let's say, to Western Europe, you've seen some differences. And so that helps, the startups to be more easily developed there and to attract investment from local players. So that's one of the good things that Eastern Europe can provide to other global startup ecosystems. On the flip side, what other ecosystems have done is creating the networks. We know that, unfortunately, for instance, here in Europe, if you wanted to do an exit, let's say 10 years ago, you would probably try to, before doing that or trying to sell your company, having it bought, especially in the secondary or something like that, you would move your headquarters, for instance, to London, which was the European VC capital de facto, right? And so your valuation, if you were based in mainland Europe, would at least double by moving there. After Brexit, it's not that desirable anymore. And so what companies do is they move to other places like, the US, right? To one coast or the other. And it also helps you double or triple your valuation. So one thing that those very large ecosystems can do on the opposite side is to help establish connections and networks that allow these opportunities to exist without having to do those changes, those movements that we see where we have the so-called dual companies that are the technology part is based, let's say, in Ukraine, and then the marketing and sales part is based in the US. So in order to not have to have that, especially when they grow, is to try to attract as much as possible investors in later stages to invest directly, and also potential buyers to go directly to where the startups are. And I think there's a great opportunity there. We have been seeing that happen, especially in the investors from the United States. They have been looking at different countries and mainly to Eastern Europe now with much more interest. And we've seen that across the last 2 decades. The interest has been increasing, but there's still room to grow. One of the things that, of course, is required is to have, stability, less risk, etc. Of course, that depends on other factors in the case of Ukraine.
Thank you. Irakli, from your perspective, do European startups have their unique strength?
Sorry, how to say? I think Eastern European startups has a unique opportunity because of it's a way to how to say that's to transform our economies to the more developed stage. Yeah, because as I see there is a lot of discussions about the process that is going in Europe, and in the case of venture financing, it's still much lower than venture financing in a Silicon Valley in the US, much lower. It's not only because of less like enthusiasm of VCs. It's because of high net worth individuals, family offices, institutional investors. Unfortunately, still does not believe in venture, and they are not investing in such kind of financial arms. They prefer traditional assets, and that's why there is a lack of money. But at the same time, there should be more cooperative environment in whole Europe. I think to strengthen potential, because now we are in this situation. Then there might be the huge gap between countries and nations who are actively developing startup ecosystems and are not developing, even in all this AI race, even of access to the new technologies, new infrastructure, etc. But yeah, we have such kind of basis, especially because of great talents, but they should be more forces and more actively promoted that this investment development of startups in whole Europe.
Yeah. And how do you think which industries are the most undervaluated right now?
Yeah, it's to compare that there is a great institutions development research universities in Europe. Even in Germany, there is a huge research infrastructure created by Fraunhofer ecosystem. But at the same time, the commercialization and the creation of startups based on this research, it's maybe not so active as it might be. That's why integration of this research direction with great talents and providing access to these research results, even from Eastern Europe, might create the benefits for all Europe. Yeah, there should be more cooperation. There should be more access to some great research results, scientists, and finally, we all should learn how to transform the great achievements of scientists into the progress. Yeah, it's sometimes it's going too long, the scientific work, but all this work should be done more faster. In the case of direction, it's different. It's different. We can say that some sectors are very well digitalized, but some are not, and they need more improvements.
What about AI? How do you think it's undervalued?
No, I don't think it's undervaluated, because it's logical development. But the DeepSeek, it's showing the potential of mathematicians, and also the science. Yeah, it's showing that it might be achieved with low resources. And I heard that Stanford now is going to publish more advanced research. And I think, and I know that there is a great mathematicians in Europe, in Eastern Europe, in Western Europe, and it might be done a great science in this case to achieve much more better results in AI.
And if you have two startups, A and B, with equal metrics, the first one in biotech natural science and the next AI, which one would you invest in?
Yeah, it's very interesting that I'm doing and our company doing a lot of research in behavioral science and behavioral economics. Unfortunately, it's not all about rationality of people, and it all depends on the development of particular social identity groups. Yeah, it's now there is more hype about AI, and the product might go faster. But on other time, from other perspective, there is a lot of companies concentrated in this sector. That's why this second startup might be more perspective, because there will be less competition and much more better opportunity.
Thank you. Pedro, back to you. What would you choose?
Well, we have just to put also in context that the horizon for an exit is different, right? If you have a generic AI startup, although they are super valuated now, right? Or everyone says that they started as AI something, of course. But the typical horizon is compatible with most investors, right? Because when you invest, typically after 5-7 years, even if you invest in the pre-seed stage, you wish to exit, right? At least sell your stake in the startup. When you're talking about biotechnology or something similar, typically the horizon is much longer. So you're talking maybe 10-15 years. Sometimes the funds, if there are funds that invest in this, sometimes they last 20 years, or they are even evergreen. We have invested in companies in those areas, and typically they take much more time to start generating a revenue, because of course there are more struggles. You have to do, for instance, clinical trials. You have to overcome a number of barriers that a company that just does software does not have to overcome, right? Because with software, you in a few months, you can go to the market with an MVP and that's it. If you are in a different sector, like the biotech sector, you have to go and be more criterious. You have to pass, you have to get licenses from regulators, be it in Europe or in the US, like the FDA approval, etc. So it takes much more time. So from the point of view of a pre-seed and seed stage investor, typically it's best to invest in a company like AI if you have to choose between one and the other. That said, what we have seen is that in the case of biotech companies or related to that, or typically valuations are a bit lower than AI. But again, the risk is also big, and it takes more time for you to recover your investment. So that factors into decisions that investors take into deciding to invest in such companies. That's why also some of them, what we sometimes say is get some quick wins. So if you are in the biotech sector, sometimes applying to, I know it's a pity, but instead of humans, to animals like cats and dogs, there's a great market worldwide, and it's way faster for you to bring your product to the market, for instance, and to get revenue.
Okay, thank you. And if another one, not natural science and biotech, but robotics with equal metrics and AI on the other side.
Well, I love anything that uses hardware, because I'm a computer science engineer, so I love robotics. But anything that has hardware, anything that has stock, is something that needs to be avoided if possible, especially for an investor also. Why? Because you have different versions. You have to do the maintenance of those versions when you have a physical product, especially across Europe and also in other regions. You have to provide a warranty during a certain amount of time. It can be as much as 3 years, right, depending on the country. So you need to have stock ready of parts in order to do repairs on those products. So it's something that needs it's much more cash incentive. It involves logistics, right? Even if you are selling robotics for industries across Europe, for instance, right? But you have to have that. You have to have logistics. You have to have partners that that repair and do the maintenance. You have to have the parts. So we have been there, invested in those. We love the products, but sometimes we have to focus and avoid. Sometimes it's best to just develop the software part and try to use, generic existing hardware that can use your software to provide the service that you want to provide, so that you leave that complexity and costs to others, and that investment to others.
Okay, and if there are no such problems like logistics and so on in fintech, and what would you choose in this, fintech or AI?
Well, AI is very generic, right? So after, we have, for instance, invested in companies that use AI in financial markets, and for companies that are something like banks, insurance companies, and others. So I don't see why they can be disconnected. Don't forget, when you're talking about fintech or health tech, etc., which are very highly regulated markets, that's another barrier that you must overcome, and it's more costs, certifications that you must have. So, of course, that if you overcome that, it's great. So we actually have two AI startups in our portfolio that are in the fintech space. They are growing quite well across Europe and also across the pond to North and South America. But initially it took them at least 2 more years than others just to get the certifications that are required and to develop their systems in a way that they are also more resilient, more, of course, every startup must make the systems in a way that they are resistant to security attacks and failure, etc. But especially when we are in unregulated industry, you must not only do it, must prove that you are doing it, right? So it takes more time to that, and you need a little bit more cash to do that. So from the point of view of a pre-seed investor, you will get more diluted across time, and it may take a little bit more time to recover it. Of course, it's just a matter of doing the calculation, and as you have to diversify or should diversify, it's also something that you can invest. So if you, answering your question, if you have AI applied to a not highly regulated industry, I would probably choose that if the value that they are creating is equal. That was your premise, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Irakli, we still have 2 startups with equal metrics. The first one in visual recognition, VR, and the second also AI. Which one would you?
Yeah, of course, it depends. Once again, it's if we are speaking about the US market, for example, in a very targeted niche, there might be so many companies and so interesting industry that might be several $trillion industry. Yeah, it depends on which sector this technology is oriented and how efficiently it's improving this situation. But still, the integration of innovation in sectors there is a less automatization. It's pretty difficult process because it's first of all it's mental transformation of potential customers. It's not always going so quickly, but if it's starting growing, it's starting growing very fast. People are starting copying others, but at the same time, the solution should be very, very efficient. Usually, people are starting moving. It's a loss aversion theory. Also, that people are starting moving from one technology to another if it's offering twice better solution. If not, usually they prefer to stay with existing one, and 10% improvement, 20% improvement, it's not the deal to move to the other new innovation and new startup technology. That's why then the startup is offering something. They should always understand that their solution should should have significant elements that helping company or individuals make 2 times faster, 2 times cheaper, or 2 times efficiently what they are doing now.
Okay, and the quickly blitz question before we can start pitches. Which one would you choose for B2C and B2B startup in equal metrics?
Yeah, same principles. Depends on market, depends on structure of innovation and the potential. Yeah, technology might be different, but that might be so high potential, underserved market, and great opportunity for VC investors. That's why it's complex analysis. You can say which technology is better, which sector is better, which technology is better. Sorry, and you should analyze it in the case of implementation in particular sectors.
And how you measure better solution or value? You said it's only about.
Yeah, once again, then it's a very innovative solution. We have a lot of examples in history, starting from motor wagon. Yeah, it's Carl Benz presented the first practical automobile, and nobody wants to use it. But after the wife's brave step, Benz, everyone started talking about this innovation and started using it. And finally, we got this automobile industry, and Henry Ford also transformed it. But yeah, it's how to measure it's very difficult to measure at the beginning, but you should invest as a VC, as true venture VC in such kind of like future potential, believe it, and sometimes it's becoming like based only on trust, that you jointly see the future and believe that it might create a significant changes for all the society and all the people.
And if to be honest, how many cold emails have you received from Ukrainian founders?
Yeah, but because of that, we are first VC fund, and it's a small VC fund. At this moment, we are mostly concentrated on Georgian startups, but we are planning to grow our activities. And one of our mission here in Silicon Valley is raise for our second fund. We are mostly providing acceleration program, and it's open yet for at this moment for Georgian startups, but we are planning to grow it in the future for our next fund. And yeah, I definitely will provide you with information, and we'll be glad if Ukrainian startups also will join our acceleration program, and also will get investment from our fund.
Okay, and now I want to ask you to share some pitches advices. The first question to both of you: what makes a startup pitch truly stand out to you? Pedro, maybe you.
Just very quick one on the B2C, B2B. We have invested in both across time, but for instance, 10 years ago, we invested in Music U, which was exactly what TikTok is, exactly. But the problem with B2C is that you need loads of cash to do marketing. It's like the problem with logistics, with the robotics, right? But even worse, you need loads of cash for marketing. So that's why for smaller investors, small, so either business angels groups, or small VCs, typically we tend to focus more on B2B because of that, right? It takes longer to sell to a company, but it's more resilient and it's easier to grow. So regarding the suggestions that we would say to the pitches, I totally agree with what Irakli said. So you should focus on the value that you are creating. So if ideally, instead of just having a solution that is very broad, try to focus on a vertical. One vertical where you are providing the most value, right? You have like 10 verticals that can use your technology. Select one, see how much value you can bring, exactly as what Irakli was saying. So can you reduce cost by 20%, 50%, etc.? Can you increase sales or help increase sales by X%? So focus on actual things that matter, especially for B2B, right? What value can create to companies, because that helps a lot. Sell it to companies and also sell it to the investors, because they can see if there is value in what you are proposing and see if it's something that can actually grow in the market and if there's a big enough market for that. And then help the investors do the calculations, define the size of your market, not only locally, but also regionally and then globally. See also what are the exit opportunities. Put yourselves on the shoes of the investor. They need to exit in 5-7 years from now. What will be the options to do it? Right? Identify, if possible, potential exits. List, of course, already the companies that you have been already talking to, the ones that already have agreed to do a pilot of your solution, right? A paid pilot, always paid pilots, right? And provide some evidence that you will be, provide the roadmap, provide the calendar of what you are doing in terms of business development to convince the investors that by getting their money, you'll make good use of it and you take the company to the step where it can raise the next round, right? Having in mind that as soon as you get money from customers, that's the best, because they start to validate your product, to validate your approach, and to see also, and you can then also start to adjust the way you are marketing your product. You will start to adjust also your pricing, everything that needs to be done. That doesn't come out perfect from moment zero, right? It's something that you need to do as fast as possible. If you provide that and also ensure that you understand the market and are resilient, that's also a good thing. Ideally, also not have only a one-person startup, right? Try to get at least a co-investor that complements you, so as to also reduce risk from the point of view of the investor.
Thank you. Irakli, as you said, you have seen hundreds of pitches, and what are the key elements that can catch you?
Yeah, that's we are mostly starting with startups on very early stage, and mostly they are the software developers. And what I would like to say and propose to Ukrainian startups, the pitching techniques is cognitive skills. You might train it, and yeah, train a lot. You in the case of how you are presenting this your innovation. Unfortunately, once again, mostly are looking to how brave you are, how you could present your product, and they're correlating this process with in the future how you could sell your innovation to the potential investors or customers. Yeah, that's to be in line with your natural potential. You should train yourself a lot. You should ask your team members. It's like the people are preparing themselves for in theater or in cinema to present themselves, and it's a lot of similarities. But ideally, yeah, that's Pedro also mentioned. It's not only should be the next Elizabeth Holmes with your presentation. It should be doable and should be the great product first of all, and you should know how to present all this figure. Oftenly, investors are looking about secret sauce, how you are going to promote your innovation and startup. If you only depend on marketing budget, it's not always good. They're looking for some secret sauce that will grow the sales by themselves or by special channels for this product. Yeah, and show this, and of course show metrics, show potential. If you don't have metrics, approximate what is your feelings in the case of how much you are going to achieve. But of course, these metrics should be based on the principles that you are integrating in your development process. That's why start as soon as possible talking with your customers, showing the MVP, getting some feedback, even to understand customer acquisition cost before even you are starting the sales. Yeah, it's doable. You could start even the registration in a waiting list on a beta or on others. And by this, for example, European startup called Bolt, it's analog of Uber. They're using this customer acquisition cost LTV techniques to analyze which market to go next. And for example, there was difficulties on the US market, and they grown in African market, in Asian markets. And yeah, use such kind of metrics, use your CAC LTV parameters, start more and more earlier to get to know your real value and the real outcome from your project, and show this in your presentation. But of course, prepare yourself as the best movie actor to be the brave and to be this to know what you are going to do.
Okay, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of our time for Q&A session, and I want to thank you so much for sharing your experience, sharing your perspective. Pedro, Irakli, thank you so much, and I switch this micro to the next speaker.
Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you everybody for this amazing fireside chat. So the next speaker, briefly for several seconds, is me, Katerina, facilitating today's event. And we are about to get ready to go to the pitches. So we'll see how much incorporated all of this advice that you've just given can be in their pitch. So Yulia, once again, huge thanks for moderation. Pedro, thanks for being with us. And Irakli, thanks for joining us as well. And now let's go and listen to all of the startup pitches, the alumni of Deep Tech Acceleration under the big consortium of Seeds of Bravery. So the first to present, that's interesting, like my screen sharing is stuck, but let me see. Yeah, so the first to present today is the lead force talent. So let's welcome Dmitro. And we'll have 3 minutes to present and 1 minute for Q&A. Today with us in the Zoom call, we have several experts to ask questions, and also they represent different investment institutions. So let's make the most of this opportunity and the most of this event. So let's go with the first pitch. Dmitro, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I hope you see the screen and everything's fine. So now I'll show you the example that you talked before, how to utilize AI with the vertical. So my name is Dima Rudenko. I'm the co-founder of LeadForce Talent, and I'm going to show you how to find top management candidates in just a second using LeadForce Talents. So forget long hiring processes. We'll make it fast and easy. So hiring managers struggle to find great candidates, to keep up with the trends and update their databases, because they also need to manage costs and follow the rules. So what is the biggest problem? Actually, it's manual sourcing that takes 60% of their time, making hiring slow, stressful, and frustrating for HR teams. How do we fix this problem? So we created an AI-powered platform with a database of 5 million candidates, updated regularly from open sources. And our AI finds top candidates in seconds, not days, making hiring fast and effortless. So how it works? First, you create ideal candidate profile. Then AI scans millions of profiles to find the best match instantly. And then you get pre-qualified candidates ready to connect without manual searching or pre-screening needed. So our team has got a wealth of experience in recruitment and entrepreneurship and IT. So personally, I founded 5 businesses, and our co-founders They bring their expertise from business development, HR, and AI development. So together we are driving the project forward. As for the current results, so we have signed 44 letters of intent with the top companies like New York Life Insurance and Porcelanosa, providing strong demand for our platform. And with this, also we generated early clients. So we are, let's say, we launched commercially just 2 months ago. We've got 3 active corporate clients, and we are already generating 10K in monthly revenue. So also thanks for Seeds of Bravery for helping us to launch and develop our project as well. Also, we have been recognized by Microsoft for startups. They provided us a deposit for OpenAI, Stripe, and Azure services. And as I told, we've got 50K grant from Seeds of Bravery with an Excellence Award. And these achievements helps us to move and to position us as a key player in AI-driven recruitment. So if you're an investor, we're offering 10% equity for 500K safe investment. We need this funding to scale rapidly and reach profitability, bringing AI-driven recruitment to the next level. If you are not an investor, we'd still love your help. So if you know companies that need faster, more efficient hiring, please introduce us. Also, we're looking for strategic partnerships with recruitment agencies and HR communities. So let's connect and work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dmitro. Shall we have questions, or maybe just the way we organize it for the next pitches? So everyone on the chat, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat while the presentation is on, so that we can see whether we have questions or not. If not, then we can use more time maybe for presentation as well. Because anyway, we'll have the recording that's going to be shared with other key partners as well, so that we can absorb more network into today's event as well. So I see no questions yet arriving. Thank you so much, Dmitro, for presenting. Oh, okay. Raise your hand. Raise your hand quickly.
So I just could not find the button for raising hand today. It's really strange, but nevertheless, yeah. So there are so many HR startups, and they are in the market for like 10 years. What is it different, really different in terms of international market about your startup?
Yeah, thank you. Very easy. So the majority of the HR and recruitment startups, they deal with the optimization of the current candidate pool. So the companies, they need to organize the pool. They need to invest huge amount of investments in advertising of their job offers, etc. And after the existing startups, they will help to make it more efficient, to increase the conversion rate, etc. We solve a little bit earlier stage. So we provide the pool, and you can easily connect people directly. So, and you can do it unlimitedly, comparing to LinkedIn, Indeed, etc. So that's why we overcome this, let's say, obstacle. So and that's why for people, it's much easier to find the most relevant candidates without spending huge recruiting budgets for advertising of their, let's say, for advertising of their campaigns.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for presentation, and let's get ready for the next presentation. So this was Dmitro from Leadforce Talent, and let's get into the next presentation, which is Platma. So please share the screen and get ready to present.
Hi everyone, let me share my screen. Okay, I think you can see it right now. So hi again, my name is Yaroslav, I'm co-founder of Platma, and we would like to liberate micro, small and medium businesses from IT dependencies. It's 90% of all companies in the world, and they're really struggling because they have to maintain their business processes manually. Up to 70% of their time they spend on that. So we realize that it's a blue ocean and we have to help them. And the only way, in our opinion, how to help them is to create software development platform, which will allow them to digitalize their back office business processes and to create their web application on the fly, is to create a tool which will understand natural language, English, for example, instead asking our clients to learn languages of programming or domain-specific languages. And we already did it. Strategically, we have two stages. The first stage already done is to create extreme no-code software development platform, which understands natural language as a code and which allows small businesses to digitalize themselves by their own. But the next step is to create operating system for business when Platma will help to maintain and manage business of our clients in more effective way. Why we choose this market? Because it's booming, it's huge. Last year, amount of the market was around 33 billions, but up to 2030, it will reach almost 190 billions. And the main demand will be from micro, small, and medium businesses. There are a lot of amazing companies on the market, which partly solve this issue, like retail, Zoho, but we are absolutely different animal. All these companies were created by IT professionals for IT professionals. So the final client have to have middlemen to maintain with this stuff. In our case, they don't have to have any middleman. They just have to know natural language. So we are a SaaS company. We are selling licenses and extra features, but on January, we also launched Platma on premises for enterprise clients, and we started work with several banks and companies in telecommunication area. We have quite elegant go-to-market strategy. We do not sell directly to SMBs. We work through resellers like IT integrators or SMB aggregators. If we are talking about enterprise clients, like which just appeared from the early this year, we work directly. And here is our traction. Our ARR was around 1,900,000 USD. Our MRR for the December was around 278K. We finally have valuation, 20 million valuation company. Our last three investors invested with this valuation. We are part of Alchemist Accelerator, and here is the list of our investors. And we were recognized as the best startup in GCC market by DAFC Free Zone. Our amazing team. And our next step is 15 million round that we will launch in 9 months. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. So time for questions. So
Okay, Kate, I don't have the button yet. So I will just do it straightly. Yaroslav, tell about your clients, please. So it's really great to see you again, and I really like your startup.
Yeah.
And how is Middle East market doing now? Do you have more clients, less clients? Where are your clients today?
Hi, Alexander. Thank you for your question. Glad to see you as well. So GCC market is our main market at the moment. 70% of our revenue belongs to this market. So we launch one of our office here, which is growing faster than in other regions. At the moment, we have 4 main markets in this area. It's United Arab Emirates, it's Saudi, it's Qatar, and Egypt. And it's really booming, and there is no legacy like in Europe or in US, and much more cheaper to penetrate that market. And we build something similar that, for example, Bubble built in between North America and Brasilia. So in North America, the Bubble have final clients. In Brasilia, they have kind of middlemen. We also have these professional users that use Platma, but mainly they from Egypt, and they provide their additional services for our clients in United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar markets, which are premium markets. Yeah, so there we are. But our main challenge at the moment is to increase our sales in US. We also launch our office there, and that's why we apply to Alchemist Accelerator, our main target for this time.
So
great.
you're already a part of Alchemist, yeah?
Yes, we received investments from them. Yeah, we in this 39 cohort at the moment. I have a call with them in parallel, by the way.
But are you in San Francisco now?
I'm not now, but our representative is in San Francisco.
Okay.
That's a lot of good news for Ukrainian tech ecosystem.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I would like to say extremely thank you to Seeds of Bravery for your support as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yaroslav. So this was Platma, and the next to present is Prostezno. So please welcome, share your screen, and here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katerina. I'm a co-founder and CPO at Prostazino. Now I need you to imagine something. You are in the last school year. You want to get into university. And you think your journey will look like this. Simple and clear, right? But when reality hits, it looks like a complete mess. It happens due to various reasons. You need to find, plan, and estimate so many things, study as hard as possible, and in the meantime, maybe live your teenage life. What usually happens next? This. Basically, we get a generation that knows what burnout is even before the uni. So, what is our solution to this? We develop an ecosystem where everybody can find their way to study and be confident in their results. With Prostazino, you can study anywhere, anytime, using only one application. We provide theory, tests, explanations, and flashcards for all subjects. Our main audience is applicants, and they change every year. And from that audience in Ukraine, last academic year, we got 60%. Our apps right now are #1 in Ukraine for uni exam preparation. You can see our results in numbers here. All of that comes from organic installations. And next time, I'm going to talk about our business model. All of the key features in the application are free. And to generate revenue as B2C SaaS, we are using freemium model. Free content generates a lot of free traffic. And last year, we decided that this traffic should be monetized also. This is what we got from monetizing this traffic. 6 numbers, and it has a potential to grow even further after we launch our web platform in a few days. The traffic is used for lead generation for different courses, universities, and other direct partners. You can see our pricing on the screen. Currently, we have around 7K DAO, which will grow even further, and different lead generation funnels that we plan to expand. Of course, web platforms will help a lot with traffic generation. The plan for this year is to become profitable, tackle other exam preparation areas in Ukraine to generate even more traffic, and go abroad with our product and business model. How do we plan to do it? Our most precious resource is our incredible team, which includes experienced developers, designers, marketing, and education specialists. We have partners for expansion in Ukraine, and plan to use our connection in edtech markets and associations to explore foreign markets. If you want to help us grow faster, you can find all contacts in the QR. Let's talk business and make education easy and enjoyable worldwide.
Thank you so much for presentation, Katerina. So everybody, you can like make a wish today with the two Katerinas online. It's just like to make a good breath of inhale and exhale to understand like what your really aims are and how you're achieving those. So today we are pitching and we are achieving our aims like in a pretty strong way. So questions. Do you have questions for today? So there might be questions later in the chat. Once we have them, please feel free to answer to those in the chat, just the way we did with the couple of previous startups. And once again, huge thanks for presentation. And the next to present is Spanbase. So let's welcome Sophia and let's do the screen share for the presentation. Sophia, we cannot hear you, I guess. So, I mean, we can do the sound check a little bit, or if you feel that it's going to work, you can present like after a couple of startups. So, okay.
as efficient as possible. Just a moment. I will share my screen. Do you see it?
Sooner or later we will see it. As of now, it's a black square.
It's a black square. And do you see it right now? Because I have a presentation on my screen. AI-driven personalized wine sales.
We can double check. There might be security settings because certain systems, they have security set. Oh, that's it. Wonderful.
Yeah, you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes, sorry for my voice. Anyway, we are in Box Wine. We are building AI-driven personalized wine sales, and we are working with existing wine merchants. So basically with the ones who are already selling wine. The problem that we evaluated is that the wine industry is basically chasing the wrong customers. To solve it, we built AI ML model that helps to understand the customer better and product much more better. So it's a customer-centric AI solution and product-centric AI solution. We understand how wine is similar to each one. We disassembled more than 500s of thousands of unique wines, and we understand how similar those wines are each to one. And by that, we are helping to resolve the calcified free experience and basically understand how each customer's preferences are, including budget. And with that, we are building shopping that is quite similar to what Netflix or Spotify is. Market size is quite huge for us and quite achievable because we understand that in 5 years we can reach basically 10 million sum. That is pretty much realistic. And we also understand our impact on the sector as we plan to work with small or medium businesses that are open for technology scale up and in our case it will be pretty much solutions that will help them to run up with the technology updates that is going on right now in the world. Our team is quite experienced in both in business or investment like me. I have more than 15 years, in fact, with executive management and Volodymyr technology management, AI and ML. We are B2B SaaS. We plan to reach 10 million ARR in 5 years, and we are looking right now for matchmaking with prosperous corporates or accelerators who would be happy to work with us in upcoming years. So we are very much happy to work on the personalization of recommendations for customer satisfaction for wine sales or maybe other products if we decide to pivot. That's all. from my side.
Thank you. Thank you so much for presentation. I see you have a question, so Mihailo, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I have a lot of questions, a lot of them, but let's focus on three questions, three main ones. First of all, the competition. Yeah, so let's focus on what other applications or what other services partially address the same market as you do, and how do you compare to them in terms of functionality, unique value? Let's leave it at that.
Yes, Mike, thank you for that. Definitely, there are competitors, both direct and indirect, mainly indirect, who are working either on individual solutions like Bevino or others, who are working with end consumers, who are buying wines, etc., or general approach to recommendation systems. In our case, we are focused on one product, wine, and business and their needs. So that's makes us pretty much maybe not unique, but we have this opportunity to focus on business needs and one product. So we don't work with individuals' preferences or generalistic approach to
The second
one
question.
product.
Yeah, thank you. This is plenty enough. The second question also, please try to be quick with answering that. How do you help your customers make money?
Yes, we are increasing basket size. So we are upselling of wines that when we understand the customer, for us, it's pretty much easy to upscale the basket size or like
What if the customer prefers cheap wines?
We are focused on in wine as a product. There are three types of approaches. So premium wine, then medium and cheap. We pretty much work with medium, and here we work with those.
What is the price retail of one bottle of medium? Let's say for your basket.
€10+.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And the top level, the top level, from 10 to
50. We are working now with one of the largest retailers here in Ukraine, and for them it's quite unique experience to understand the product, how we see it. And they already see it so much beneficial when they can actually increase this basket size, for example. Of course, we can work with new customers. For example, there is another product that we are working on. It's so-called digital sommelier, because like when you choose for example, a cream for your hands, whatever, you don't need advisor for that. But when you choose wine, there is a special profession like
depending
sommelier.
on the price, highly dependent on the price, also with cream. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a part of that. But there is a special profession for wines. It's called sommelier. So you need to have special training in order to be enough of knowledge to recommend wine. And in our case, we are building digital sommelier.
Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for all the questions. Let's try to keep to the timing. I see there are a couple of more questions for Christina on the chat, so feel free to continue on the chat. And now let's welcome the next presentation, Sophia from Spendbase.
Hi.
So the floor is yours.
Hi, sorry, I tried to share the screen and was kicked out of the meeting somehow. Let me try again. Can you see it?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Sofia from Spendbase, the platform for companies to reduce SaaS spending. Spendbase was founded in early 2023. We are a team of 60 people, mostly based in Europe, and we have offices in the US, the UK, and 6 more countries. Our mission is to help companies optimize software costs and use. The idea of creating Spendbase came when our friend bragged. He left the company and continued using their subscription worth $3,000 for 2 extra years. We got curious and started to research. Another company bought 20 licenses worth $10,000 each, but only 2 people in the team were actually using them. Another case occurred when a company fired a marketer and deleted his subscription to an important service. 4 years of marketing data just vanished. And that's a problem for many companies. An average company of 1,000 employees wastes $2.5 million annually on SaaS because vendors hide their prices and companies simply overpay. Companies pay for unused licenses and tools with duplicated functionality like Trello and Asana at the same time. Another thing is, the picture is familiar to you, right? Most mid-corps manage their stack in Excel. It's inefficient, it takes a lot of manual work, and it's prone to mistakes. In Spendbase, we turn the ugly Excel sheets into an easy-to-use platform when you can see all of your stack in one place, manage license usage, renewals, and spending. After showing companies the complete picture of their SaaS spending, we do price benchmarking, apply partner discounts, and negotiate with vendors on the better terms for our customers. We didn't stop on just managing what you already use. On Spendbase, you can go through approval flow to buy your next SaaS. And the next step is going to be launching virtual cards. So after going through procurement flow, you can actually pay. You can issue a virtual card assigned to employees at spending limits, and then get cash back on each transaction and automated reporting. We charge 25% of the money we saved. There's no upfront payments. Also, in some cases, we charge percentage of what companies are paying to SaaS vendors through Spendbase. After launching virtual cards, we are going to have part of the interchange fee per each transaction. Without acquiring any external investments, we reached $2 million ARR, and we're scaling 260% year over year. We got 400 customers, and they're almost not churning. The annual churn is 1%. Here is how we plan to grow. We plan to double our LTV and add 2 new revenue streams with virtual cards and treasury system. And that's what we are raising investments for right now. We plan to raise $2 million in safes, and 35% of it is already committed. So if there are investors who'd love to chat about investments, or if you have fellow companies who overspend on SaaS, I'd love to talk with you about it. And I'd love to save them some money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sofia, for presentations. I guess I've seen the raised hand of Mikhailo during the presentation.
Yeah. One question, Sofia. It's always a pleasure. Somehow we end up on the same events each time. Yeah, but this is the question I also always like to ask you about. The traction. Now it's somewhat different side. Can you tell us about the composition of your revenue? So which part comes from your first monetization model, which comes from the second, and how do you see the split within a year and within 2 years, just taking into account that you plan to add additional product, basically, the spending part, yeah? And the second one, that you plan also 2 revenue models in addition to 2 existing.
Got it. All of our revenue are coming from the 25% and the part of the companies is spending for SaaS right now. So it's nothing for interchange because like we're just launching it right now.
So basically, you have saved your companies $8 million in useless subscriptions.
Pretty much, like part of it is from the chunk of what they're paying for SaaS, how it works. Like we partner with Google and MasterCard, for example, and like other tools as well. Companies are paying to those services through spend base, and they don't have to pay anything like on top of that. We just take a chunk of what they're paying to those services. So we're getting recurring revenue as long as they're subscribed to those services through us.
Through you. But if they would want to exit from you and subscribe on their own, but then again, you will target them with your offering to take 25% of whatever we save, but without subscribing through you. Would it be possible?
For some tools, yeah. For some, not. If you're talking about our partners, like we can provide partner discounts only if they're paying through us, and like that,
so basically the honey model.
Yeah, at the same time, like they can go and just pay to the vendor directly, but they're going to be paying more. And like, why to do that?
Okay.
They're not running right now.
And
so
then in future, yeah, in the future, do you plan to maintain this mix in terms of monetization?
Oh, yeah, I didn't answer the next question. Yeah, sure, we're going to have the interchange revenue as well. And it's going to be at least 20% of the revenue overall. Like it's going to be rolling through years. Like obviously we're not going to be making lots through the first year, but the second year is going to be more and more and more.
So 20%, this is what you aim for. Yeah, sustainable 20%.
Future. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much for a small discussion, slightly more than Q&A. Thank you so much, Sophia, for presentation. So this was Space, and the next to present is Nasnaga. So now the stage is yours. Get ready for presentation.
Thank you, Katerina. Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen real quick. Please let me know if you can see it.
All good.
Okay. Great. So my name is Anastasia Sorokin. I'm a Chief Operational Officer at Nasnaga, a closed marketplace of professional health coaches for people who want to live longer and better life. And let's be honest, we all want to live longer and feel better, but the problem is we all neglect our health, and it leads to complex diseases and body exhaustion. And the core of all those problems lies in two open questions. What is my personal health level now, and how should I improve it? The problem of the market is that people are left alone with their health control and improvement, since the healthcare system is mostly focused on treatment of the patients, and they don't usually care about seemingly healthy people. They are overloaded and limited, and wellness solutions, on the other hand, are unpersonalized and shallow. So we created Nasnaga, which is a personal health improvement service, and we help people through individual systematic lab checkups and personal health coach support. We plan to launch our mobile app, which would leave only 20% of decisions and operations on the health coach's side, and 80% of all the decisions and operations will be led by algorithms and AI. We currently operate on B2C business model with a monthly subscription, and also have B2B business model with annual subscription with co-payment options with employer, employee, and insurance. Here you can see the wellness market size, and it's only predicted to grow bigger through the years. Of course, there are similar services to Nasnaga, but as you can see on this table here, not one of them offers all of the benefits that Nasnaga offers. Here's a beautiful team which combines years of experience on business side and also medical side with our health coaches, doctors, and scientists. So far, we have 5 B2B contracts, more than 200 users from Ukraine, European Union, and the UK, and 150,000 plus annual recurring revenue. We also have a Ukrainian Veterans Health Recovery Program. This data is slightly outdated since we have helped much more veterans since joining the Seeds of Bravery program. And here's a journey of growing. We're currently in the stage of launching our mobile application and starting our marketing campaign in the European Union and the UK. Here are some press releases. I'm just gonna skip through that, and the reviews are all positive. And if you have any more questions, I would be happy to answer them now, or you can scan the code and talk with us directly. Thank you.
Thank you so much for presentation. Do we have questions? Also, feel free to ask more questions on the chat. So if no questions and huge discussions for now, let's just keep up with the timing. Thank you so much, Anastasia, for presentation. Let's go for Harvey Market to present their startup. So Jana, welcome.
Greetings to everyone. Thank you, Katerina, for hosting today's event. Tell me, please, if you see my screen.
We are on the way to be good with seeing it. Oh, that's it.
That's it. Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Zhanna Strelnikova. I'm CEO and the co-founder of Harvey Market, a marketplace for small farmers with AI integration. The idea of Harvey Market came up to me and my partner Sergey when we finished our work with UASEED Agro program in Ukraine, where we helped small farmers in the first year of war to change their strategy in terms of products, sales channels, and relocation. And during our work, we discovered that in Ukraine, there is 1.7 million of small farmers that rely on foot traffic in open markets and lack the resources for online presence. And we came up with the solution to create a marketplace with automated business services and AI assistant to help small farmers to grow their sales and also to expand the market, not only in Ukraine. We checked the potential in Ukraine and we saw that the annual market growth for online grocery shopping is growing nearly 25% annually. And the revenue of the market is 700 million. And we plan till end of 2027 to acquire 50,000 farmers on our platform and to have more than 500,000 of shoppers on the platform. Of course, we have not direct competitors. In Ukraine, there are 2 platforms that offer services for small farmers, and also there are several competitors abroad in European Union. But at the same time, we have competitor advantage. This is that Harvey Market is really specialized platform only for small farmers and food products. We have integrated a map like Airbnb, which encourage people to buy from their location and save on logistics. We have integrated an AI assistant for farmers. We also have chatbot that helps to create the customer experience easy. And the main difference is built-in automated business services, the advertising packages, sales analytics, CRM, and recommendation for farmers. Our business model consists of 4 types of revenue streams. These are advertising packages, subscription for sellers, transaction fee, and subscription for shoppers. Our plan is to expand geographically. We launched our MVP end of year 2024 and plan to expand in Balkan countries because they have low competitive environment. As of today, 15 farmers been testing our platform, and we are still on MVP stage and plan to scale in February. We are looking for 50,000 euro to invest further development of the platform to enhance our customer service and also integrate monetization services. And this is our team. As of today, we have 5 people in our team, and together with me and my partner Sergey, we share 30 years of experience in multinational companies. We specialize in strategy building, brands creating, and also innovation launch. And we also have experience in Ukraine and abroad. And we invite you to join our mission to improve people's well-being. Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you so much for presentation. Mikhailo, one quick question.
Okay.
Keep the timing.
Okay. So quick one. This is one of the first times I don't see Polish market as a target for such type of a solution. And the question is why? Just curious.
Why we don't have a Polish market for the solution?
Yes.
Because in Poland there is one competitor, Rolnik, which has very high position in Poland. And also we talked with Liki24 and they shared their experience of expansion. And Poland was very hard to launch in. And based on their experience and also talking to other investment funds, we understood that there is a nice opportunity to expand to Balkan countries.
Good.
And it will
Thank you.
be cheaper and the gross margin is higher.
Good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for presentation, and feel free to continue discussion on the chat. So this was Harvey Market, and the next to present is Beholder. So please, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. One sec, please. I'll share all my screen. Let me delete the presentation. Gotcha. Lovely. So hopefully you can see it, right?
Yeah, all good. We can see it.
Lovely. So yeah, I bet that you are listening to me via your notebook or maybe via your smartphone. But the problem is that all of this may go extinct in next years. And the reason for that is quite simple. We do not dig enough material. We do not dig enough copper to make your batteries and lithium to make your batteries. We do not dig enough critical earth minerals to create microchips. This is not enough. According to one of our competitors, we're going to have about 17 trillion short in the next years till 2050. And the reason for that is quite simple. I mean, mining industry is slow. Usual time of mine from start till becoming operational is about 18 years. It can take even longer than that. And as you can see on this slide, the biggest chunk of it is actually exploration. So with that in mind, we have created Beholder. We bring artificial intelligence to exploration. We help it do a faster, cheaper, and more sustainable way. How do we do it exactly? We actually use AI and spatial data. So we absorb geological, geophysical, structural, and remote sensing. And we deliver fast and accurate and mineral exploration, basically. We absorb a lot of different layers, and then we create what we call a lasagna of different layers on which we actually do the prediction. Basically, you can see our lasagna over here on the screen. So basically, we absorb as many as possible. We prepare the data. Our secret sauce is not only that we use AI, but also that we actually know how to prepare data, how to do annotations, and how to actually do the predictions based on it. So data preparation takes a big part of our technology as well. One of the examples over here is our new 3D model. We basically have done the 3D inversion based on the data we have, and we uploading and having this model more and more developed in order to see as deep as 4 kilometers right now in depth of our ground. This is one of our projects here on the screen. The exploration right now actually requires a lot of deforestation, and the success rate is really slow. Really low. We can actually have it up to 75% by using our technology. Let me skip this one. We had 15 pilots globally in different countries, from Africa to North America to Oceania. the global exploration will actually grow significantly, and the amount of resources needed will grow as well. And our business model is based on two, basically. First is quite simple. We do the SaaS. Well, second one, we take equity in the projects of the mines. We have 3 projects like that right now in Africa, and we have competitors as well. Team over here. And yeah, let me finish the presentation to be in time. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much for presentation. Time for questions. Do you have questions? If no questions, we just keep the timing because we're slightly behind. Yeah, so always feel free to continue on the chat. And huge thanks for presentation. This was Beholder, Danilo, huge thanks. And the next to present is Fortune Guard. So now the floor is yours. Please welcome.
Hello. Sorry, I'm at the business event right now, so very loud outside, so I came to a place. Let me launch. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It sounds good.
Good. 1 second, I will start sharing. All right. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, good. So Fortune Guard does war risk insurance, and we're driven by AI. We're solving a very important problem in Ukraine right now. Not right now, before we launched our product less than a month ago, there were no war risk insurance for medium and large businesses. And so any policies from $5 million upwards were not, clients could not buy those policies. And so we've launched this product, which provides a $50 million policy limits for medium and large businesses in Ukraine during the war. There's a very big opportunity right now in Ukraine. So we estimate, Kyiv School of Economics estimates $300 billion in investments in Ukraine, but as all know, the construction potential is over $1 trillion in Ukraine and needs, all of these investments need to be insured against war risks or political risks. Otherwise, investors will not put their money into the country. And what we do is we provide access and distribution for the product on the market in Ukraine, and also we provide risk analytics and pricing for the providers that provide the insurance. So our traction is very strong. We have launched the product, unique historic product, $50 million limits, policy limits with Lloyd's capacity behind it in the London markets, reinsurance markets. Before that, there was a product by DFC and ARCS, which was $2.5 million in limits. So we increased the limits by 20 times. And the previous product was provided by the State Department, basically, of the United States. So that's as much as they could do. But we have scaled that 20 times. We have $1.5 billion in the client pipeline right now. After about 3 weeks after the launch of the product, we expect this to grow $5 billion or more by the end of this year. There's more stats here on the screen. You can see that. So our product has been featured in world global media, and as well as all pretty much insurance oriented media globally, and also in Ukraine. Forbes Ukraine, Kyiv, plus many others featured our product. Now, the product has a huge developmental impact because it enables investments, gives confidence to the local businesses and international businesses, creates jobs, and protects businesses as well. And it plays a very important role in foreign direct investment in Ukraine. So, so we're always open for the providers to join our capacity and for media to share our story, for investors to partner with us and grow. Thank you so much. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I see there is a raised arm from Hello. So one quick question and then just continue in the chat.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to understand, you are not an insurer, you are, like, say, a marketplace for insurers, or are you an insurance provider?
No, we're not. We're using Lloyd's of London and other London, like big London insurers as the providers of the product. We distribute this product for them, and we provide risk and pricing analytics for them. And so basically, we act kind of like a broker, but more than that, because we also provide some AI, like tech solution products. So we have multiple revenue streams. One is we get a commission on any policy sold, and two, we get profit. We share profits with the syndicates and the.
Okay, so you do not share any losses. You are not sharing any losses.
No. They bear full capital responsibility behind the policies. We don't. So they have. Lloyd's of London has $150 billion in reserves. So that's how it's.
That's enough. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much for presentation. This was Fortune Good with their presentation, and the next presentation is Big Data People. So welcome.
Hi, I will share my screen. Hi everyone, I'm Helen from Artelance, and today I will tell you about our product, Big Data People 2, and how Seeds of Bravery have helped us. Ukraine now is on its way towards European integration, and we have two key pitfalls: is Russian aggression and corruption. And to help to solve these problems, we have three key questions in which our company can help. First, it's transparency and anti-corruption. We can help by verifying participants' information in government tenders. Second, it's security and compliance. Here we can help in protecting companies from Russia-related, military-related risks by verifying information about employees and other people of interest. And third is increasing efficiency in public agencies and law enforcement agencies by increasing efficiency of identifying threats and investigating crimes by providing more powerful tools. And for this, we have created our product, Big Data People 2. It's an online service that analyzes information from the internet and verifies people's digital footprints and highlighting potential risks associated with them. For this, we have analyzed such sources as Facebook, Vkontakte, Instagram, Telegram, and others, and have collected data for more than 3 billion studied profiles, billions of likes, reactions, interactions, posts, comments, and for this we used our own technologies of face recognition, semantic analysis, as well as using world-known technologies such as Gemini, GPT, Claude, and all of these we have added to our product. As we see in the market, we are the only company now in Ukraine that has advanced functionality. And other companies that have such functionality works usually in Russia. That's why we need to create something better. Using money from Seeds of Bravery, we created friends analysis functionality. And it helped us to increase the amount of clients from 80 to 100, almost to double active users of our service, and to increase customer retention to our company. For this, our team worked hard, and we looking forward for other cooperation with Seeds of Bravery. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much for presentation. Do we have questions? Who are your clients? Who pays you? That's one of the startups is asking. Yeah, because today we have both, like the startups and several VC funds on the chat. So let's go with the question, like who's your client and who pays you?
All law enforcement agencies of Ukraine are our clients now, and also big business uses our service to check people whether they have some risks with connection with Russia.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for presentation. So the next to present is Heidi's. So let's welcome. And now you can stop the screen share from previous presentation. So big data people, now please turn off the screen share so that the next startup can also present. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So Heidi's welcome.
Thank you for this opportunity to present our pitch today. Hello, everyone. My name is Yaroslava, and I represent Heidi's. We are a cybersecurity startup with a mission to help organizations eliminate passwords from the daily routine of their employees. If you imagine a common work environment, a typical day for its employees looks like this. They come to the office, they log into their computer with a password, then they sign into their accounts using a login and password once again. On top of that, they often have to use multi-factor authentication. And finally, every time employees step away from their computer, they have to lock it. And when they come back, the cycle starts all over again, and possibly many times a day. In institutions like hospitals, banks, or government agencies, employees often don't respect security policies or use poor passwords or leave computers unattended. And it's a constant challenge for IT managers to protect the entire infrastructure, especially in spaces where computers are shared by multiple workers. Our solution is an identity management system that allows IT admins to manage employees, their access rights, and workstations they use. And this system makes both logical and physical access passwordless. So eventually, we replace passwords by 3 methods. The first one is passkeys, a technology that allows employees to sign into web services using their own biometric-enabled devices like smartphones, tablets, or laptops. The second tool is a mobile app, which provides authentication based on unique QR codes, and users can log into personal or shared computers and sign into web services by scanning those QR codes. And the last tool is Heidi's Key, a proprietary hardware token, which covers most complex authentication scenarios, including both access to web services, to legacy applications, and proximity-based access to Windows computers. And by proximity-based, I mean that our system detects the distance between the computer and the user, and when the user steps away, the computer gets locked automatically. So the end result is that the whole cycle of authentication processes becomes passwordless and frictionless. The main benefit of our system is that it's quick and easy to deploy. Both cloud and on-premise versions are available, and we provide protection against common cyber threats like phishing. We provide better user experience, accelerate the speed of authentication, and help companies meet some industry or country-specific security requirements. Our achievements so far includes official membership in the FIDO Alliance, approval from Microsoft and the State Service of Special Communications of Ukraine. Apart from Steve's bravery, we are participant of the second cohort of Google for Startups program. Our clients span several industries. We serve Pharma GSC, the biggest pharmaceutical company in Ukraine, the Cabinet of Ministers, and the bank in Germany is currently having a pilot project too. We have a valued-added distributor for Ukraine and Eastern Europe. And our next goal is to secure first-channel partnerships with IT system integrators in Western Europe and the United States to scale up products and the international market. So thank you for your attention. That's all for now. And if there's something that was interesting to you, let's connect on LinkedIn and we'll talk.
Yeah, so maybe you feel free
Any
also
questions?
always to share your link to LinkedIn on the chat, because we are all in the same group, and then there is a stream to
I'll
YouTube.
do so.
Yeah, great. So I see that Vladislav has his hands up, and let's get a question.
Yes, thank you. I have 2 questions. First, what is your current traction? And next, are you raising what money and what valuation?
Yeah, for now we're not raising. We closed our seeds round in 2020, and probably we'll move forward with a Series A round at the end of this year or maybe at the beginning of next year. We are currently cash positive. I won't disclose monthly recurring revenue, but 60% of our revenue comes from subscription of our enterprise clients, and 40% from customization, because we can make some custom security keys and some other services.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for presentation, Yaroslava. So you can always continue all communication on the chat. And now the floor is for Juki. So yeah. If possible, share your presentation so that we can see the slides and make sure that you click them through. So yeah, let's welcome Juki.
Hello, I'm Andrei Dechovsky, CEO and founder of Juki. We are in business of monetizing music. We tackle the problem of limited financial accessibility for millions of independent artists. We turn music into a digital asset. Juki lets creators sell shares in the song's royalties to the fans and investors at the auctions. All processes are automated and approved by German financial regulator BaFin. Our customer segments are artists, fans, investors, and industry professionals. Our USP are access to funds and expert resources for artists, opportunity to support their favorite artists directly for fans, new asset class with high return on investment potential for investors, and source of new paying customers for industry professionals. Recorded music market has grown steadily over the past decade and currently is valued at approximately $30 billion. Music streaming is a major driving force, which accounts for 70% of total earnings, with 700 million of users today expected to surpass 1 billion in the next couple of years. Juki targets 20% of this audience, those seeking new music and artists. Our competitors are blockchain-based music marketplaces, music rights management platforms, and also crowdfunding platforms like Patreon and Kickstarter. Juki stands with community-centric ecosystem, trust and transparency, cutting-edge technologies, and last but not least, fans act as both investors and promoters, reducing dependency on traditional marketing. To build a user base, we have launched Juki Music Awards, global inclusive online song contest, which brought us 198,000 of registered users from 191 countries. 16 successful auctions today generated over 100,000 euros with LTV to CAC ratio of 12. We project 2.5 million euro revenue in year 2 and 25 million in year 5. Juki is perfectly balanced team with male-female twin leadership and wealth of experience in IT, music, marketing, and legal. We have been extensively covered in Votes press, including top-tier tech and music editions like Wired Magazine, Billboard, Music Week, and Rolling Stone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for presentation. Let's go for a quick question. Mikhailo, go ahead.
Yeah, please comment. How are you different, for example, from Spotify in terms of your underlying monetization model?
If you are a user of Spotify, you give up $10 subscription fee to Spotify, and that's it. In our case, you invest in your favorite artist and benefit by receiving passive income. At any time, you can sell shares in your favorite artist's song with high return on investment potential. It can be thousands of X's if the song becomes a hit. We are very different from Spotify.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation and for the great question and answer. So this was Juki and Andrei from Juki with the presentation. So let's welcome AdMaps and listen to their presentation and their setup. So AdMaps. Yeah, great.
Hi,
We can see
everyone.
the screen.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. My name is Volodymyr. I'm CEO and co-founder of AdMaps. We are the platform that makes education for kids as exciting and interesting as a real game. So what's the problem that we work with? Today's generation of kids don't like learning. They find it stressful and boring. And that's why results of educational process is not so good as they used to be some generations before. Not only students face with that problem. Of course, parents, schools, learning courses, and government needs find something how to improve engagement and academic results. That's why we decided to combine school curriculum and game mechanics and came up with the idea of EdMaps platform that makes education as interesting, exciting as a real game. Firstly, we made every subject look like a real map of territory, and students have to open this map and find interesting knowledge inside. Every lesson contains interactive assignments and videos and make education more intensive and dynamic. We integrated historical characters, celebrities that play a role of owners of different subjects, and AI made dialogues help students to get deeper inside their knowledges. Also, we provide our users with different statistics, rewards, coins, characters, and so on. Everything is made for improving engagement. For parents, we made a special application that provides detailed information in terms of analyzing 142 different ratings to show how their children studying in school. For school, we provide LMS system that helps them to organize educational process and make it comfortable and useful for everyone. Also, we are working with learning courses and working with the Ministry of Education in Ukraine. For example, we made a project for children who are living close to frontline and helped Ministry of Education to get education to over than 15,000 children in 2024. So our platform shows great results. It helps to increase academic results up to 53% and interest up to 67%. And now we are looking for opportunity to getting forward and looking for partners who help us localize educational content to other countries. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the presentation. So time for Q&A. Please raise your hand in case you have a question, or feel free to put the question to the chat so that we can keep the timing and be good on that. So thank you so much for the presentation. This was EdMaps and Volodymyr, and the next to present is Univera. So please welcome and share your screen so that we can see the slides and follow them.
Hello, now I'm sharing my screen. Just a second. Do you hear me well?
Yep, the sound is good.
Okay, now I'm just... Okay, do you see the presentation?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so hello, my name is Danila and I'm CEO of Univera. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of what's happening in our universities. Think back to your student days. You're a student, you come to university, you don't know where to go, what to do, who to talk to, and you want to become a cool specialist and go to work, not waste yourself on this. And there is no one to help you with these challenges. And that's why we created Univera. Univera is all-in-one mobile application for students which guide them from admission to graduation. Smart scheduling, all university services and offers from companies, just on your smartphone. Univera supports every aspect of your university life. Digital elections in student governments is a crucial part of student activism. And this is such a simple, powerful platform. And companies receive a powerful tool for recruitment, internships, and targeted advertising. Univera have a verification via the application, so every student is real. And for now, we operate on the Ukrainian market. There is more than 1 million students and more than 300 higher education institutes. And how do you make money? How do you make money? We deliver app to students and charge companies to access this huge student base. They pay for vacancy publishing, advertisement, and that's it. We had done so much already. We have more than 15K students, more than 100 universities, and more than a 100K students base coverage, and we plan to grow more. That's some of our achievements. and we have a powerful collaboration within Ukraine and the world. And this is only the beginning. And we are scaling on Ukrainian market right now. And we already started to scale on biggest Ukrainian universities. And we already talking with investors and entrepreneurs to different integrations. And we're expecting more than 100K students and more than 500 companies in the middle 2025. And I believe in our strong team. I believe that we can do this. We are fully capable to achieve these goals, and we have different expertise, product development, business development, and we are working more than 3 years together and breaking through the difficulties. And most important, we're current and former student activists ourselves, and we know everything from the inside, and we know how to make our plans happen. And we want to make a leap forward. We need around $100K for expansion, and this is a big step towards our breakthrough and to scale up to Eastern European market. And that's Univera. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Yeah, I see there's a question from Mihailo. Go ahead.
Yeah, how do you imagine you will be scaling to other Eastern European countries, and when?
We're planning later this year, starting to scaling to Eastern European. We have a connection with the European Students' Union, and we already started working on. We already have a platform for voting for student governments, and that's our starting point to integrate product into European universities. It's just voting platform for student governments, and after that, we're planning to add scheduling, smart scheduling. We already remade this platform for Ukrainian market, so we will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was Univera and Danilo, and now let's welcome the next startup. So let's welcome Dim to present their project. So please share your screen, and yeah, that's good. We can see it. Thank you. Let's go. Let's start the presentation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Kavinsky. I'm gonna pitch DIM, Building Management System Made Easy. So what is DIM? DIM is all-in-one subscription-based IoT solution for buildings administrators that enables them with live data, alerts, and remote control of their facilities. The problem that we resolve is that manual monitoring is prone to errors and labor demanding, while existing building management systems are expensive and complex to use. So our solution to this is a subscription-based approach to BMS without the need to acquire and install any equipment from DIM. We install and maintain our hardware free of charge. Our product consists of a hardware part, basically a set of sensors in the hub that puts information to the clouds, and web and mobile dashboards that reflects the information from the sensors in real time. How it works? Well, the business process is pretty straightforward. First comes data collection from the sensors, then monitoring in real time happens using the web dashboard and mobile app. Then alarm notifications when something goes wrong. So this way, we come to the fourth, maintenance and repair. When the administrator knows when exactly, where, and what exactly went wrong, they can react accordingly with a precise action. So the market size that we are targeting is like this. So Ukrainian market is the primary to us, and we estimated to 100 million euro annually. And European market is just huge. Our customer segments are municipality establishments, construction companies, industrial facilities, residential buildings, cottage villages, and retirement centers. They're pretty much all our SCP. This is a growth plan for the next 4 years. We are currently rolled out our MVP and finished our pilot installations. So we are focusing right now on biggest Ukrainian cities. And if everything goes well, according to the plan, we plan to start entering European market in 2027. Here's the competition landscape. they're all similar to us, but the core differentiator is that we provide free equipment leasing. So all our other competitors, they're selling equipment. And this is a part of their core business model. And we do not do that. We only charge for subscription. Our business model is very plain. It's basic SaaS, subscription-based tiered platform. Our executive team combines knowledge in marketing and product distribution, software architecture, startups, and building management. Currently, we're looking for around 300K in funding to complete the technical roadmap, boost sales and marketing, and hire key team members. That's it from our side. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for the presentation. So I see there are no hands raised, so please feel free to ask all the questions on the chat because the chat is pretty active today. Again, thanks so much for presentation. This was Startup Deem, and the next to present is Betty Deem, so the floor is yours.
Good evening. Let me share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, we can. All good.
Okay. My name is Elena Vertinska, and I want to introduce our company. It is Betty Deem. It sounds like Get the House Together. We are a manufacturer of frame constructor. As you know, Ukraine 100,000 houses were destroyed. Everybody knows this. And in 2002, we understood that we have to do something with this situation. For now, we already built 45 houses during this time. And we understood that our clients has three problems. They have no time, they have no money, and they have no professional builders in Ukraine. And here is our solution. It is a frame constructor. What is this? It is a plank that already cut to size. Fastening are already installed for full-time positions, and the wood has already been treated by super bioprotection. It is very easy to understand. It is very to assemble. You got your constructor, and you just have to. This assemble like a Lego. We have different projects. You have to create your own project. So, for example, if you want to get a frame like this, you need, first of all, frame. So we can prefabricate this frame for you. At the same time, we understood that our clients sometimes need much more just a frame. So we can buy for them OSB profile, windows, doors. We can do that for you if you do really need it. About market, we have indirect competitors. It is modular houses, and at the same time we have direct competitors. It is a plywood. They are very good, really, but plywood costs in Ukraine like a gold. It is an extremely expensive. That's why they are our direct competitors, but we have a completely different price. Here is our team. We have a very good team, strong team. We do understand that people making money, not our ideas, not two of us. Our team is making money. Here is our contacts. If you do really need to know something more about us, just call us, ask us. So thank you so much. I'm waiting for your questions.
I see Mihailo has questions, so Mihailo, go ahead.
Yeah, what are you looking for? Yeah, so this is the question, because I don't really understand at which level are you. Do you look for investments, or are you already manufacturing those houses on scale? What is your status?
We are looking for contacts in Europe now, because we want to scale our business into Europe. And first of all, we have to understand what kind of people can buy our houses in Europe. So we need professional help.
Okay, and in Ukraine, how large are your sales in terms of revenue, in terms of
We can
number of
count
units?
that. For the last year, we built 45 houses.
Okay.
It's like 200 hryvnia per one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for presentation. This was Beradim, and the next to present is Pipes One. So let's welcome. So let's share the screen.
Okay, did you see my screen?
Most likely pretty soon we will. For some reason, it's a little bit frozen and black. Oh, that's good. Now we can see it.
That's good. Okay. So hello, we are Pipes One. I'm CEO of Pipes One's Sergey Sereda, and we developed the polymer pipes factory on wheels. So we produce polymer pipes, even not pipes, pipelines, directly on the construction site. So we bring our factory, which certificated for going by regular roads on site and produce unlimited length, potentially pipeline from let's say 35 centimeter up to 2 meter diameter. So sea levels currently rises, climate is changes, and deserts start to rain. So this is in one hand. In other hand, the concrete channels lose water during the process of supplying. So the polymer pipelines, this is a reasonable solution, but this is long, expensive, and complicated story because of supply issue, because of connection issue, and because that in some necessary regions there is no existing factory which could be built during a long time. In our case, the solution is mobile factory which can be rapidly supply and start the process of development of production of these pipelines. What is the advantages? We have two innovation which bring to reduction of logistic cost of their implementation cost, and generally it lead to up to 30% we make polymer pipelines 30% cheaper and faster. So our process is allowed to cut the timing for production of polymer pipelines. For years, it's becoming months in our cases, and months become week. We make all European certification. Currently, we have production in Ukraine and open our next factory in Poland, I think in the middle of this year. Our value proposition to the client that we supply not only we supply not only pipe, we supply the production of the pipeline on the site. Currently, we make the more different application. Our market is growing at least 5% per year. We have traction from Australia to United States. Currently, we have negotiation with the global companies to supply our solution to them. We have competitors in our equipment, but nobody yet have solution for the mobile production. So we have experienced team for the 35 years in welding of polymers with the existing solution and implemented equipment. And currently, our business strategy is to open factory in Poland and open 2 more factories in other directions together with the local partners and start to sell our equipment together with the license for using it. Currently, we're looking for 2 million funds for Horizon. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for presentation. This was Pipes 1, and I see that Mihailo has questions.
I always have questions. So, almost always. The question is as follows. Are you trying to be a technology, let's say, developer? So you develop a machine which produces the polymer pipes under new technology, and you sell that product, which is the equipment to produce those pipes, to third parties? Or are you trying to be a pipe manufacturer by yourself?
It's a very good question. We use the existing experience of our direct competitors, which produce equipment for the stationary version, which is needs 1,000 square meter for production. The experience show us that they open their factories by themselves, so together with the partners, produce polymer pipes, show the advantages, afterwards they sell the equipment. This is our idea. We make this currently the similar way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Yeah, this was Pipes 1, and let's welcome, thank you. We are almost at the end of the demo day, and later on we'll be sending the follow-up emails to all the participants today, both the experts and the startups. So this was Pipes 1, Sergey, with the presentation, and now let's welcome you aboard. You're welcome to share the screen and tell us about the startup.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, we can hear you. Okay. Would be good to also do the slideshow. Yeah, thanks.
Can you see my slideshow?
Yeah, I guess we all can see it. It's good.
Oh, thank you. Let me. My name is Sergey Safonov, the CTO of New Wiring Technologies, a company specializing in the automation of wiring harness production for cars. We are a young company, but we have already made significant progress and achieved notable success in the field of automation. You likely know that all cars without exception contains numerous wires that controls and ensure the functioning of all systems and mechanisms, from the opening of automatic windows lifters to the brake control systems. These wires are integrated into a single unit known as the car wiring harness. Thus, the car wiring harness is a crucial element of the vehicle. However, there are instances when such wiring fails, causing significant damage. One of the primary causes of failure is a short circuit, often resulting from errors made during the production of the wiring. Specifically, the incorrect insertion of electrical fuses that protect the wiring from the short circuits. Currently, more than 90% of the process of insertion fuses into fuse box is performed manually, which of course leads to significant numbers of errors and increased cost of eliminate these errors. We offer a solution that fully automated the process of inserting electrical fuses into fuse boxes. Our UA board machine automatically prepares and sorts fuses before insertion, inserts fuses and relays, performs quality control using AI, computer vision, and sensors, generate a detailed log of transactions. Using UA boards offers several advantages, including guaranteed quality of wiring harnesses, improved working conditions, reduced labor costs much, and enhanced productivity. Of course, there are competitors in the markets, but UA board offers significant advantages, including over 10 years of experience in wiring harness production, utilization of modern software with AI, much lower price. Currently, thanks to our participants in the Seeds of Bravery program, we are finalizing the development of design documentation of our machine. Our next goals include manufacturing and industrial prototype based on the documentation, obtaining certification and intellectual property protection, and initiating industrial production. To achieve this, we require additional funding to approximately from 470 to 510,000 euros. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer your questions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for presentation. I see we don't have the active hands raised, but again, feel free to continue in the chat. So far, for now, I guess we did all of the startup pitches for today. And this was your board, last but not the least, to present. So thank you so much for the presentation. And let's stay connected. We'll be sending the follow-up materials after the event. So once again, this was the demo day of Deep Tech Accelerator under the Seeds of Bravery Consortium. And this was organized as the event by the Vacuum Deep Tech team. Also, the partners of the Deep Tech Accelerator are Sunrise Valley Park, Plug and Play, Erasmus Center of Entrepreneurship, Alto Center for Entrepreneurship, Ukrainian Accelerator YAP, and DaVinci Labs. So huge thanks and applause to all the partners and all the organizations who made this acceleration program happen. We could listen to the alumni of 2 batches today. And overall, it's been 18 startups today, which is a quite big pitch event. So congrats to everybody who did that. And so also big thanks to all of the speakers who joined us in the beginning. We could see Carolina from Plug and Play and Ina from Lux Innovation telling us more about the Seeds of Bravery opportunities. And again, I highly encourage you to go to Seeds of Bravery webpage, explore all the resources available there. Many of them are available even to those startups that are non-grantees, and you can always advise your friends, colleagues, and startup peers to get all of the value that Seeds of Bravery as the big consortium is delivering. So we are here to build the bridge for Ukrainian startups to go to European market. And that's it so far for now. It's been a pleasure to facilitate today. My name is Katarina, and I'm the Acceleration Program Director for the Deep Tech Accelerator on the Seeds of Bravery. Huge thanks to the whole technical team who made it happen today as well. So everybody, congrats on the great job, and have a great night. Thank you.